some moves tonight, yeah, stand up. Got something to prove tonight, so stand up. We ain't gonna plan tonight, we gonna take action on our dreams and fight, alright. We ain't gonna stall, never stop. We gon' make it all till it's out. We ain't gonna plan tonight, we gonna take action on our dreams and fight, alright.
Hey folks, what is going on? My name is Scott Schertzen for Streampunk Soccer, and also I am almost a Z-list celebrity. I'm going to try something a little bit different today for this particular live stream. Today we're going to be talking NYCFC and the Philadelphia Union. I will be doing a live stream react. Streampunk Soccer right here, TikTok right here. So in this case, I'm going to be running for about 2 hours, give or take, on this. I can't imagine I'm going to have anything worthwhile to say in that amount of time, but we're going to be talking soccer. We're going to be talking movies, TV shows, life, the universe, and everything. We'll be talking World Cup. We'll talk about some of the things that I feel are just absolutely asinine. I won't mention handicap parking by name specifically, but we won't go into that. But I'm going to be talking a lot about what's going on in the world of movies, TV shows, what I've actually been experiencing of late in the film industry, talking, of course, MLS and Major League Soccer, what's happening right now with match day number 2 at this point. I'll be talking about NYCFC. Do I feel they're going to get a striker coming in? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Is the Philadelphia Union going to rebound after the match that they had last week against DC United? I don't know. I mean, this is an interesting matchup here. I was on Pat Bernard's show this morning talking a little bit about what happened basically last week. If I think Bradley Carnell is able to rebound when it comes to the Philadelphia Union, what's going to happen there? I don't know. I'm really curious to see what ends up going on here. But I'm going to be rolling with this for a couple hours right now. I figured let's start things off. Let me just showcase to you guys real quick what the sides are going to look like, what the teams are going to look like here. So let's take a look. See, how do I do this? Let's go to share screen, stop screen, and let's go to share screen. So let's start with the starting 11 for NYCFC right now. Nico Fernandez-Mercado, no surprise there because he had the 1 shot and the 1 goal last week. Maxi Morales at a whopping 39 years old. Give that man a lot of credit there because he can do more at 39 years old than I could probably do at 20. And now I'm 50 and I sure as hell can't do it. Captain Thiago Martins, of course, will be actually in the lineup as the captain on this. Expectations are going to be on him a little bit because of what's been going on with the fact that Justin Hack is gone. So we'll see what happens there. Hannes Wolf up on the wing. That's not surprising in this case. It's now his 3rd season with NYCFC. They'll be curious to see how he handles things because last year, while he did have 11 goals, he was actually a little bit of a spurt. So 8 of those goals came in 4 different matches. So you're looking at a Hannes Wolf here who can run in spurts, but they may be wanting a little more consistency out of him. Aiden O'Neill will be in the lineup. Kevin O'Toole in the back. Tavon Gray again. Agostino Haight is getting a start right now. The 20 or 21-year-old, I think, is going to have a chance to prove himself right here. Raul Gustavo in the back was a little up and down last week. Matt Freese, big surprise as goalkeeper, and of course, Mr. Keaton Parks. Had the press conference with him earlier this week. Keaton was actually doing well. There was a lot of concerns about the injury that he had. When they talk about things like, blood flow and various things like this, you think beyond just soccer and you think life. So I'll be really curious to see what he brings to the table right now. On the bench right now, Nico Cavallo. Kai Treywin's on the bench, which surprises me a little bit, but they might be saving him for second half. Tyler Magno, I figure, is going to be running a little bit later. Tanasiewicz later. Maximo Carrizo, probably Tomas Romero. Until it's Matt Freese's job until it's not. And then Drew Bayer, Johnny Shore, and of course Seymour Reed, the young ones, bringing up the back end. On the other side of the equation here, looking at by the way, this is a really fancy setup that I think the Philadelphia Union have right here. I really like the look. I really like the layout that they've got. And, in this case, a lot of the players that they have here are not the same players they had last year. Andre Blake, sure. Olowski's back. Damiani's back. But you look at a team that basically no longer has, like, Jacob Glesnes is gone. I was going to say Ty Baribo's gone, who actually scored the lone goal against them last week in the 1-0 loss to DC United. Nathan Harrell's there, but we're going to be looking at a very interesting, very curious Philadelphia Union squad right now. The Philadelphia Union are a team that I think is in a little bit of a flux right now because they've released so many players, they've traded so many people, they've gotten rid of so many that I'm not really sure what to expect out of that team. I think basically when we have a squad like this, we'll be curious to see what they can bring to the table and if they can rebound. Right now, it's not exactly panic mode for them as yet, but it is a little bit of a concern going on. So, okay. There we go. Put that way. There we go. All right. So, like I said, right now, currently pregame, my question to a lot of you guys out there is, can NYCFC become an offensive threat? Last week was a little bit of a rough run with this, a little bit of a rough challenge. They only had the one shot on goal. Granted, it was a PK, so it wasn't so bad on that. But I'm really curious to see if they can bring a little bit more of an offensive juice. I'm going to switch over here a little bit. That way I'm on camera here and on camera here. I got a 2-camera setup going right now, which really makes it fancy and cool. And, well, I don't know. We'll pretend it's cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm Scott Schertzen. I'm on Stream Punk Soccer here. I'm on TikTok over here as almost a Z-list celebrity. I'll be curious to see, like I said, what you guys think on this. I'll be talking actually not just soccer, but because I'm here for literally about 2 hours and change, I'll be talking a little bit more when it comes to things like the movie industry, what I've been seeing, stupid stories and stupid experiences that I had on film sets, because that's what's going to tie in here a little bit. I will be also talking tomorrow, by the way, on the Stream Punk Soccer channel, alongside Mr. Bill Akins, who is in charge of our USL side of things when it comes to Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Talking to him a little bit about what's going on with World Cup, talking a little bit about what's going on with the possibility of the USL strike, which I really have some curiosity and some concerns there as well, because holy shit, if the league goes on strike because of pay and safety concerns, it's going to hurt their ratings a little bit. It's going to hurt their numbers. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. Again, I'll be going throughout this game itself and seeing what's happening. You look at a team like the Philadelphia Union, you have to assume they're going to have a better match than they had last week. I think they went into last week a little bit overconfident, and it got shoved in their face. But as a result, that team is going to be prepared. That team is going to be ready, and they're going to be facing a somewhat tired New York City FC squad. NYCFC had a little bit of a struggle getting back from LA. They were in LA for Coachella, spent the entire week over there in California, which granted we had 27 inches of snow over here, so maybe that's not so bad, but they also had to spend the entire time over there because they played the LA Galaxy. Right now, win probabilities show Philadelphia with a 50% win chance, NYCFC with a 23.8% win chance, and a draw at 26.2. This is per DraftKings and Sportbook. So right now, the odds are going to be in favor of the Philadelphia Union here. Chris Penso is going to be the head referee, Catherine Nesbitt, number 2, and then basically on down the line. I know Chris, he's a good guy. Our buddy Ted Uncle gives him a little bit of crap on now and again, but Penso's okay. But again, when it comes to officials, when it comes to soccer, there is no official that ever does a good job. They do an okay job or they suck ass. That's the rules when it comes to officials. But right now, NYCFC is getting ready. Philadelphia Union are getting ready. And we are almost ready to get this game, match day number 2, underway. Taking your comments, taking your thoughts, taking your ideas, compliments, complaints, the whole shebang all the way through. What do you guys want? What do you guys think is going to happen here? What do you guys think is going to be the end result here? Do you think NYCFC has a chance? Do you think the Philadelphia Union have a chance? Do you think it's going to end up a boring-ass 0-0 draw? Because honestly, that could happen too. But anyway, curious to see what your thoughts are. We are about ready to get underway. By the way, I should also mention that Stream Punk Entertainment is actually in the building right now because Pat Bernard is covering for us, covering on the Philadelphia Union side over at Subaru Park. So he's in that really, really crappy press area that they have that has this gigantic divider right in the middle. I don't know what it is. I don't understand what it is. Game's underway, by the way, 9 seconds in, and already Matt Freese has to make a quick little save on an easy pass, but it's like, wow. He's already right in the middle of this, 11 seconds into this match. So holy shit, that didn't take long. Let me switch that over. We are now past there. There we go. Philadelphia Union, NYCFC, no score, first half. All right. So, but like I said, in this case, when it comes to press box areas, I've been fortunate because I've had a lot of experience with a lot of the press boxes in NYCFC, Red Bull Arena, MetLife Stadium, Subaru Park, and a lot of these places. So I've been really, really fortunate to see a lot of what they have to offer. A couple of ones in Jersey as well on top of that, which, Seton Hall have had some experience in the press box for that too, which isn't so much a press box area, but more just like court level, which honestly was freaking awesome. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's weird because when it comes to Subaru Park, they have the designated area for the press, which is fine. But they got this giant column that sits right dead smack in the middle. And I got to verify with Pat if it's still there, because it was there the last couple of years that I've been there. It's just dead smack center. So if you imagine basically trying to watch a soccer game, pretty much like this is exactly what it's like. And it kind of sucks. You got to kind of walk off to the side to see what the hell's going on. But I think, honestly, it's a good day right now. It's 45 degrees and some sun. It's probably going to get a little bit colder a little bit later. 2 minutes in right now. Looks like somebody's down. Is that Agostino Hayda that's down right now? Somebody for NYCFC is on the ground, writhing in ankle pain. It's Nico Fernandez Marcal. Yeah, they don't need him to be injured. What happened here? What did happen there? Didn't look like much happened. Looks like, yeah, I'm curious if that was an embellishment or not. But yeah, NYCFC right now from an offensive standpoint, yeah, he's up. He's fine. He's walking it off a little bit there. But yeah, for NYCFC, they got to showcase that they have the ability to score some goals here. Last week they kind of got away with a little bit when they had that 1-1 draw. This is not a Philadelphia Union team that's going to allow those same amount of mistakes to happen. They had a bad match last week. It was an embarrassing match for them. And it's the home opener for them, and they are the Supporter Shield champion from last year. I'll probably talk a little bit about Supporter Shield, why I kind of hated the system that happened the last few years and why I think it's kind of garbage. But I'll get into that a little bit later. Philadelphia with an opportunity with Tavon Gray with the interception to clear the ball before it got into the box. 3 minutes in, so far, no score, no goals, quick turnover, or no shots either. NYCFC is struggling a little bit to try and get a little organization going right now. They're struggling a tad just to try and get things organized, get their feet wet. Good pass up to the side, up to Agostino Hayda on the right side. Closing into the box if you can get in there. Stop, and that ball go out of play. That ball is going to be out of play for a corner kick for NYCFC. Nope, they're calling it a goal kick. Really? Interesting. Are they calling it? Oh, Hayda looks like he's heading over. What happened here? So, yeah, the last tip, unless it came off Hayda's foot, but Hayda played it with the expectation it was going to roll out of bounds to maintain NYCFC's ball in there, but Nathan Harrell's saying different. So 3.5 minutes in right now, no score. NYCFC is also the Philadelphia Union are going with their USA 250 emblem right in the middle of the jersey because, wow, the United States turns 250 years this year. When I was a kid, I remember being like in the 1980s, kind of the 1990s too, a little bit. And I remember thinking to myself, when America's going to turn 250 years old, holy shit, I'm going to be old. And here I am. I'm now 50 years old, and the country is 250 years old. And yeah, I'm old. But yeah, that's the kind of the way the world works right now. Let me know your thoughts here. Do you think NYCFC, like I said, has got a shot at this point? Looking at some of the numbers, super duper quick. Right now, passes are 16-11 in favor of NYCFC. 2 fouls for Philadelphia, none for for New York. My wife always loves this phrase here, but basically ball possession is in favor of New York. Passes 20-16. I'm looking at FOTMob right now. And yeah, 2 throw-ins at this point, no offsides. And 2 interceptions by New York. So that's a good win right there. Opportunity real quick for New York there, for Philadelphia. It's NYCFC trying to get it into the Philadelphia box right now. And trying to break through. It looks like O'Toole's got it. Pass it over to Aiden O'Neill, back to O'Toole, and then all the way back to midfield. Thiago Martins is basically, they're getting pushed back a little bit. I would not be surprised right now if this ends up in a 0-0 draw. I don't know if we're looking at a team right now that has the ability to score much. And again, there's so many questions and so many concerns when it comes to Philadelphia and everything the turnovers that they had there. Pass out of basically drilled out of play. Agostino Hayda was unable to control it, went out of bounds. So we have a throw in now for the Philadelphia Union in our 6th minute right now. 0-0 first half. I, of course, am Scott Churchson. I am the head chief honcho and also complaint department for Streampunk Entertainment, which includes, in this case, Streampunk Soccer, as well as Streampunk Cinema, Streampunk CFL, the Lacrosse Channel, Streampunk Sports PA, Streampunk Sports, and an upcoming charity gaming channel and something else which might be on the horizon. We might be working on something a little different with a collab with Hardcore Sports, where we might be doing some play-by-play broadcasting for the blind. Had a meeting on that a little earlier today. Not sure if it's going to basically bear weight or not. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great idea. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the coming weeks. This is not something until the baseball season, so we got like a month on that anyway. But I think the idea of having a couple of my guys sit there and broadcast, regular sports broadcasting is just like, pass up the side, all this kind of stuff, with the understanding and the assumption that you know what's going on in the actual match itself. If we end up doing this thing for the blind, and if you guys are listening right now, I'm putting you to it a little bit right now, to see if you guys end up doing this. But it's a lot more descriptive. So it's talking about how many feet until the wall. It's talking about, the position of the pitch, for example, not just low and outside, but, about 3 inches off, 3 inches, below the pitcher's knees, or the batter's knees on the right side there, almost actually scraped off the ground itself. Swing and a miss. Basically, it looked like he was swinging about 2 inches off that one, and a lot more specifics, a lot more detail. It's like radio broadcasting times like 30%. So we're going to see what ends up happening there. Right now, as far as what else I've got, let's see, what else do I have going on? I will have my own home opener for NYCFC next week. On Saturday, they're going to be playing Orlando. It'll be a 2:30 start at Yankee Stadium. Excited basically to be at the home opener for Yankee Stadium, because Yankee Stadium's press box is just like freaking S tier. I was going to talk about this a little bit more. Pass into the box by Philadelphia and a header out by Aiden O'Neill. So we're going to have our first corner kick of the match at this point. Aiden using that head to at least line a bullet basically out of his own area. Matt Freese basically trying to prep the team right now, because this is like it as a corner kick. Set piece opportunity for the Philadelphia Union. Good setup, good pass right there. And Aiden was just like passed basically right into the stands on there on a header. So Philadelphia Union are going to have their first corner of the match here, 9 minutes into this. Suns playing a little bit of a challenge for Matt Freese based on the angle, and I do know that. The way that the Whaley Subaru Park is, that Sun can really become a problem on that side of the pitch. Pass up, set piece, header, opportunity, and looks like it was a foul actually inside the box, so nothing's going to happen on that. And NYCFC looks like they are going to maintain control. So, there we go. Take that. Like I said, I don't know. This could easily be a 0-0 match here, and it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if that ends up happening, because this is just one of those games where it's just going to be such a question about offense. I got to check that. Honest, let me double check on that. What does FOTMob say? I didn't actually see the starting. I only saw the starting 11. I didn't see the... right now, basically, he's in the center because they're playing a 4-3-3 setup. Ojeda's on the side, and Fernandez is on the right wing. So I initially had envisioned that Fernandez Mercado would be in the center and Hannes Wolf on the side, but they're flipping those up a little bit right there. So running with the 4-3-3 setup. Right now, per FOTMob, Hannes Wolf has a 6.0 rating, but that doesn't mean much because we're barely into the first half anyway. So, Hannes is playing center. So it'd be interesting to see what's going on there. Hannes, like I said, the funny thing about Hannes Wolf is that he had 11 goals last year, and that was a big improvement because he had 5 the year before. But he talked a lot about the fact that he felt more comfortable in year 2 because he had the full off season. But his issue, that basically such as it was, is that a lot of his goals came in spurts. So 8 of those 11 goals came in 4 games. So he had 4 braces. Shot just wide, actually. I think it caught Matt Freese a little off guard, but it does go out of play. So NYCFC will have a goal kick, but a sneaky little opportunity by Danley there, just wide of the net. And NYCFC on their back heels a little bit as Philadelphia has an opportunity from probably about 30-some yards out. I don't think, just wide. Freese was able to, was important enough to basically be able to block it, but also at the same time not touch it to maintain a goal kick there. Protect the goal. Bad turnover by Keaton Parks. Philadelphia with an opportunity. They're already in the box with a chance here. Passed up and out of play. They'll maintain control in a throw-in for Philadelphia, but a bad pass by Keaton Parks. NYCFC is throwing a lot of interceptions so far this match. I'm a little concerned about that gel ability, which I think is going to be something that you have to concern yourself a little bit with, because they're not, NYCFC has still struggled with this. They weren't able to get back right away because we had the snow on Monday, which, by the way, don't know if basically you have, where you are, what's happening. But we here in New Jersey had 27 inches of snow. But what's really bizarre about that whole thing is the fact that most of it's gone already. Because the weather has been like 50 or 60 degrees, occasional rain, this snow has melted so quickly. And by next week, it's pretty much going to be done. We got a tiny bit today, but the problem was with the snow that we had Sunday night into Monday, NYCFC, who'd spent well over a week over in California, had to spend another day over there, which, okay, fine, sucks. But we say this with sarcasm. But the problem is they were aching to sleep in their own bed, and they hadn't had the opportunity to do that. And when you sit there, it's like, if you've ever been on long business trips and you sit there and you're in a hotel room night after night after night, after a while, you just miss your house, you miss your home, you miss your bed. And when it comes to players, being able to sleep in your own bed is a huge, huge thing. And for NYCFC, they struggled that way because of the snow. So they missed another day, which threw the schedule off and really kind of fakaked a little bit for the team. So I think it's going to take them a little time to get acclimated right now. It might even take 30, 35 minutes. Fala and Nico right there. But NYCFC maintains control. But 13 minutes into this match right now, still no score for NYCFC or the Philadelphia Union. Let me know in your comments, either here or over here. Let's see. Mitch Kofsky to join as a guest. Does he want to be a guest on this? Let's see what happens if we do this. Actually, let's say hi. There, I waved at Mitch Kofsky. Hi, Mitch. Mitch runs Hardcore Sports. We have a really good collaboration with them on some stuff. A lot of their shows, actually, for the Pennsylvania side, are on our side. I'm grateful for that. I'm massively grateful for that, because he doesn't have to do that, but he does it anyway. Mitch is, by all accounts, an absolute badass, and I've said this to him too. So it's not like I'm kissing up to you because you happen to be there. I'm saying it because I believe it. The dude's freaking a badass all the way through. But I appreciate that. I appreciate everything they got. Back to the action right now. Philadelphia with a little bit of a trip, but then no foul on this. Coming up the right side. 14 minutes in. About to break into the box if they can. Ball's out of play, but Philadelphia maintains control, and they will have a throw-in. They're getting a lot of throw-ins right now inside the New York City FC zone. So New York City right now is playing on their heels a little bit. They're playing uphill a little bit. And it looks like they're struggling right now just to kind of maintain symmetry and get things going. I feel maybe the fact that they lost Justin Hack in the offseason to the LA Galaxy was a bit of a problem for them. Hack is one of those rare two-way players who works both on defense and also in the midfield, and was honestly a pretty big loss. The decision to have Kai Trewin be on the bench, at least probably till the second half, surprised me at least a little bit. But you know what? In Pascal, they trust. So NYCFC trying to break the ball out of the zone. Getting the ball close to midfield, Maxi Morales over to looks like Hannes Wolf on the left side. Pass across. I can't see who it is because the sun's right in the eyes there. Like I said, this is the problem that actually happens with Subaru Park. That sun really kind of whacks you in weird spots there and really makes it kind of challenging sometimes. But anywho's 15 minutes in, Thiago Martins in the back. Pass the ball up, and it's a turnover again for New York. Philadelphia working the ball into the box. If they're close to the box at this point, Aiden O'Neill was able to get the intercept and dribble the ball out to midfield. Maxi Morales across the center. And New York is able to maintain control. Keaton Parks up to the right side to Nico Marial, who's trying to get it across the line, going all the way across the midsection, and another turnover by New York. So 3-on-3 possibility right here. NYCFC is actually in their own zone in the box, and the pass and it looks like the kick either went out of play or was blocked or just a clear opportunity. But Philly is taking advantage of their opportunities right now because New York is, they are doing a lot of turnovers right now. That is a concern for NYCFC, the amount of turnovers that they've had so far this match, and it's still early. So that's going to, I'm sure, be a conversation with Pascal Janssen at half. Let's see. Yeah, right now, NYCFC has turned the ball over 5 times at this point. 5 times they've turned this ball over right now in the first 16 minutes of play. So I'm sure Matt Freese is probably livid about that one too. But 16 minutes in, what do you guys think? Are you NYCFC fans? Are you Philadelphia Union fans? Do you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about? That's entirely possible too. This is basically Major League Soccer. This is now my 6th year, number 6, covering the New York City Football Club and Major League Soccer. It's hard to believe it, but yeah, it was 5 years ago, in about a couple of weeks, back in 2021, that I was first introduced to the team. They had a 5-0 win in their home opener. I really wasn't that big into soccer at the time, but I was trying to break into the sports arena. And if an opportunity is in your face, you take the opportunity as best you can. But as a result, it was really kind of a neat thing because you get to know the players, you get to know the team, and you get to build a rapport with them. It stays professional all the way through. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's a nice chance to be able to make a connection, get to know these guys. It sucks a little bit when they depart. So, Mitja Ilinic going back to Europe, Monsef Bakrar. I feel bad for a lot of these kids a little bit because they're only 23 years old, but you build a little bit of an emotional rapport with them. So Keaton Parks coming back was a big deal because you know what? I've known Keaton for years. We talked about the book that he wrote on Amazon, which is now on Amazon. Check that out if you want. But, Nick Cushing. Yes, I like Nick Cushing. I don't care. He's a good guy. Former NYCFC head coach Nick Cushing, his kids used to go to the same elementary school that my mom did way back in the 1950s. So for anybody that's listening right now, yes, I'm old enough to say my mom in the 1950s. That would be me in the 1980s. And some of you guys are like, yeah, my grandparents were in the 1980s. So you'll get there, Trey. You'll get there. Trust me. So, but yeah, I remember 2021 because I was really heavily involved with Law and Order SVU at the time. I was one of the core detectives in the precinct there. Most of the stuff was in the precinct over at Chelsea Pier. So I was kind of doing double duty between like Law and Order SVU and also NYCFC. Harold in the box passed, shot up, blocked it out of play. Another scoring opportunity there for Philadelphia. Ball didn't go anywhere near, but they are getting into the NYCFC box. They're really being able to penetrate the zone with good ball control, and they're driving it in deep. Yes, I said it that way on purpose, phrasing. But this is one of those things where this is going to be a deal breaker on either side. Whichever team scores first here is going to have a much heavier advantage psychologically than in normal matches because NYCFC is playing on their heels right now. Philadelphia is playing confident, and a goal is coming. So if NYCFC is able to score, big opportunity for them. Pass up the side. I know, boy, here's another possibility for Philadelphia into the, getting close to the box on the left side. Pass across, but nothing came out of it. And they're still maintaining control inside the box. Tavon with a good interception. Hannes Wolf out to Nico Fernandez-Mercado. And Philly still maintains possession on this. 20 minutes into this match, by the way. No score as yet. Let's see. Do you have any other football clubs you support in other leagues? Yes. We also cover the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in USL. My guy, Bill Aikens, who you're going to probably see tomorrow for our live stream at 11 a.m. Eastern, him and a guy named Ed Quinn have been covering that team for a little over a year right now. Coincidentally, it was the first year that they covered USL, the first year they covered the Riverhounds, and the first time the Riverhounds won a championship. I'd like to basically take some degree of credit for that, but I probably can't. We do actually have connections through other leagues. My problem is I just don't have the bodies for them. So, and I say this, I'm going to blast this out to the universe on this. If any of you guys want to cover any of the sports that are out there that are local to your house, let me know. Drop me a message either in the comments here or at info@streampunkent.com. Let me know basically what team you're looking at. If it's local to your house, what you're looking to do. My biggest thing personally is I really like press conferences. So I've got a guy covering the Union right now. I've asked him to get the Bradley Carnell and any mixed zone player press conference conversations. That's always my biggest thing. If you've seen this channel, you've seen the fact that I always have the press conference for Pascal Janssen and one of the players. This is something that's a big deal for me. But yeah, if you guys have anything at the MLS level or below that you guys want to cover, let me know. Because I should be able to make it happen without a problem. I am on the NASR for like the 30-year National Association of Soccer Reporters. I'm the liaison with Pro Ref, so the referees and the officials. I do work with them pretty closely on a lot of stuff through the Slack channel that we've got. Another scoring opportunity for Philly, but the ball goes wide. I think NYCFC is going to get the ball back on that one, but yeah, this is a New York team that's struggling right now. Very curious to see what they're able to do. If they're able to get this through right now, I think if this match for New York ends up at 0-0 at halftime, that counts as a win, because right now they're playing on their heels so much that if you get into a draw at the end of the first half, this is a win. But yeah, Philly with a corner kick 22 minutes in, passed across, and yeah, went too far out of play and ended up being a nothing burger this time. But yeah, anyway, and like I said, if you guys know anybody that wants to be able to start covering some soccer, if you guys know anybody that wants to cover other sports. So in our case with Stream Punk Entertainment, the way that we operate is we focus very heavily on what I call second tier level sports. So here in the US, Major League Soccer, lacrosse. In Canada, CFL we cover, college basketball. If there's something out there where you're like, I want to cover this college team, like, Big East we've already got, but, maybe something on a smaller level, that's fine. If there's something in a USL level, like Hearts of Pine, I know the Hearts of Pine people, I can get you Maine easily. So I can make that happen if you want me to, so let me know what you guys want. Let me know in the comments what you guys are looking at, because yeah, if you guys want to start covering some kind of a sport for me, let me know. Even if it's some kind of obscure thing. One of the biggest catches I have to say on this is, by the way, for the record, I can't get you the big four. Typically, I can farm it out to someone else. But if you're looking at like Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, I can't do that personally, but I do have connections that might be able to do it on my level, because, my company's not even 3 years old yet. So you got to let it take things a little bit as you go. But for any of you guys, if you have some kind of a weird sport or obscure sport that you guys want, you want to cover and you want to get press access to, let me know. If it's highlight, if it's rugby, we've talked about something called bleep ball, which is basically baseball for blind people. We have something in the pipeline that we might do with that arena. So yeah, that's going to be something there. Special Olympics was a possibility. So yeah, we got a few things. Scott, send the link. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Are you free? I don't know. Let's see. How do I do that? There we go. I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman. So yeah, okay. We're gonna bring Dat Boy Dobby in just for funsies. Oh, Yankees are gonna be retiring CC Sabathia's number. I think that's a good call. I like that idea. So there we go. All right, so running on my own for a little bit. He's going to be, he might be popping in a couple quick minutes there. I just sent him the link. It's funny because actually I had somebody be like, you want to try it solo? And I'm like, all right, let me see what happens if I go solo. Because I'm going solo here. I've got TikTok going over here because Pat Bernard, who's covering the Union for me right now, he's like, you need to do more TikTok. You got to go live on TikTok. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go live on TikTok. I'm 50 years old and I'm old. But he's like, you got to do it. Actually, Glenn Crooks, who is the NYCFC radio guy, he's gotten into TikTok. And I'm like, okay, if Glenn Crooks is doing TikTok, I got to be doing TikTok too, man. So anyway, yeah, 25 minutes in at this point. Pass up and out. Aiden O'Neill's pass was a little bit too far for Maxi Morales. So Philadelphia is going to get the ball back right now, 25 minutes in. I'm going to do a quick stat check in a second right here. Let's see. What are we looking at? Let's see. One yellow card for NYCFC. Seven throw-ins right now. Right now, total shots, 3 shots to 1 right now. 3 shots all off target for Philadelphia. 1 block shot for New York at this point. Nathan Harrow with a 7.3 rating. That kind of tracks. Corners right now. What are we looking at? Yeah, 2-0 on corners at the moment. But I'd like to see NYCFC start to make some stuff happen. I'd like to see that team get a little bit of action, a little bit of momentum. They're playing so much on their heels at this point. So, but yeah, I think, what do you guys want? Do you guys want NYCFC to get a striker? Do you think the team's got what it needs right now? There was talk, obviously, with Musa Sila almost becoming a striker for New York. 99.9% ready. I actually thought that was going to happen. And then sure enough, kill the whole thing. That is not an option on the table. So NYCFC is kind of running on their own devices right now inside the transfer window. That will be if this team does not score a goal here, or they have a really bad offensive performance, I guarantee one of us is going to be asking Pascal Janssen. It's like, hey, you got a striker yet? You know, you'd be like that naggy little kid who wants candy when they're 5 years old. Hey, you got a striker? Hey, do you get a striker? Hey, do you get a striker? You know, because, yeah, right now, like I said, NYCFC's got, okay, they're starting to gel a little bit, coming up the left side. Possible scoring opportunity, never mind. And that was the end of that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So, okie dokes. All right. Do it that way. There you go. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up, Scott? Dude, I was joining the stream. I see the Vernon play. They hit the post.
Yeah.
I was about to say I'm coming on stream. We're about to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see, like I said, what's gonna happen here, because this is like I said, there's a lot of questions going on when it comes to NYCFC. What's gonna happen with Philadelphia? Because Philly is a team right now that's playing not desperate, but they're playing with a focus. I guess we'll call it delicately.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
We were virtually unwatchable from minute 10 to about maybe the past couple minutes. It was virtually unwatchable. To be completely honest with you,
I said it was going to take maybe about 30 minutes before the team was really starting to gel, and here we are on the 28th minute. You can see they're starting to build a little bit. I don't
know how far advanced you are, but I'm at the 27-22 mark.
Same here, 23, 24.
All right, yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, we're probably neck and neck right now. All right, that's fine. Fernandez Mercado up on the right side here. Put pass.
Oh my God! Oh no! Keaton, you got to take a shot. Keaton,
it will be a corner. It will be a corner, but Keaton knew he had an opportunity there. So did Maxi Morales. You saw the look on each one of their faces right there.
I got flashbacks to the playoff link up. I thought that was going to be something similar to that build up.
Keaton should have taken that shot, and I think he knew it. But he tried to be a little too fancy and passed it back to Maxi Morales. But the ball was chipped and went out of play. So it will be NYCFC's first corner of the match. So you give it credit there.
Keaton, man, you got to score those.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of questions here, and if this team does end up getting another shutout, you're going to be looking at a question for Pascal Janssen and being like, "Hey, you got a striker yet?" A lot of pushing and shoving inside the box as the ball comes up, and
headed
Andre Blake with a save, but still in. And they're cleared out. NYCFC is basically on the back heel. Good pass across. Is that Harriel up on the right side there? Clear across. NYCFC's back into their own box again. Philly with an opportunity.
And dealt with.
Yep.
Ball still there. Nope. Tavon Gray, and he's going to.
Tavon needs to just boot it in next week.
Get the pass just off to Maxi, and Maxi doesn't. Yeah. That's got to be a foul there. There you go.
Yep, Hannes Wolf gets fouled there. But NYCFC with their first shot on goal. By the way, their first shot on goal this season that did not come from a penalty kick
was a post.
Yeah, but but it's not a shot on goal technically.
I mean that doesn't make sense to me. That's technically on goal as you can get it without going in.
In hockey world, that would count as a shot on goal. But yeah, no, in this case here, the first shot on goal for NYCFC this season, that was not a PK. Andre Blake with the save. Two-handed volleyball save.
Oh, that's a poor header.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
New York
not going to deal with that very well. New York has got the ball.
That sun is also a problem, though, too. You can see the profound difference there.
That's possibly what happened with Matt Freese last week in LA. Him facing the sun in the first half. Yeah.
Well, he had a problem with the sun in the corner. It's not so bad now. Olowski coming up on the left side there. Good pass across.
Right to Freese.
Freese with the dive already. But pass across, if Damiani would have gotten there, that probably would have been the first goal of this match.
A lot of sloppy passes from us this half.
A lot of sloppy passes, a lot of turnovers right now. So, yeah, there's a lot of concerns that basically if you're NYCFC, you got to look at basically just tightening things up a bit here.
However, they've had the better chance of almost taking the lead there. Ojeda's goalless stretch in the MLS play continues. So I thought that ball was going to end up in the back of the net.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, in this case, if New York can end up at halftime 0-0, you count it as a borderline win. Because they're playing on their heels. They're playing uphill right now.
Yeah.
And I think like I said, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're out of the rhythm. They were in California for so long. They had to spend an extra day in California because of the snow that we had, which is borderline gone. Meanwhile, okay, the Union lost their match, but they were almost walking distance back home. Because DC to Philadelphia is a hop, skip, and jump.
Just take the train. You're there.
Yeah,
an hour.
A bus ride for like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. And then of course they're back in their own bed and everything. So you look at a Philadelphia team that also in their home opener, and statistically what it's like when you have home openers as well. Statistically, the home team usually wins about 60 to 65% of the time in general, much less a home opener.
Yeah.
Tavon with a bad.
I mean that was a poor pass from Gustavo there. Gustavo didn't put him in a good position at all.
Yeah, Tavon with a pass back. Matt Freese had the boot of the ball into next week, which apparently is my new catchphrase at this point.
So in this case, you're gonna have to boot it into the Delaware.
There you go. That like I said, Subaru Park is really nice. If you've ever been there, it's got the bridge in the back. It's a really pretty stadium. It really is.
Another poor give up.
Their press box is pretty weak, and apparently their food was pretty weak too, from what I found out. They had that cheese. Okay, let me ask you this. You're obviously in New York, so this is not a Philly thing per se, but let me get your thoughts here. Mm-hmm. So my guy who's covering the Union today, he had a Philly cheesesteak with, basically chicken cheese, and he put ketchup on it.
Disgusting.
Okay, I wanted to see how you felt about it. I mean, in Philadelphia land, that's like just, that is unforgivable.
I hate ketchup in general, so.
Oh, a pop-up ad for F1. Cool. Pop-up ad still up for F1. And that is the future of MLS right there. Pop-up ads whenever possible. Brought to you commercial free, except for my God, that ad for F1 is really freaking sitting there. There we go. Now you fade that bastard out. Good for Apple TV to get Formula One, though. It's going to be nice. Hopefully, it'll have less ads than it did on NBC, because Formula One and NBC was just brutal. Because it was like 30% actual game, 70% commercials. Right? 30% competition, 70% commercial. All right. New York's still trying to maintain some kind of degree of control here, 34 minutes in. Almost turned the ball back over again, too.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to thread the needle. Good pass across. Tavon couldn't maintain.
Still got the ball. Oh, that's a good pass.
Good pass up to Hannes.
Oh, it's almost into the back of the net, but it's a
great save by Andre Blake.
O'Toole was slipping as he made contact.
Andre Blake with a massive save there. Age be damned. Age be damned for that young man. But yeah, you got to wonder if O'Toole with the slip on that.
Looks like it could have been an own goal.
But it could have been, but I think it would have been stopped either way. But you got to wonder if maybe the pitch is getting a little bit of an issue too, because
Philadelphia player is down.
So I wonder if the rain and the snow were causing a little bit of a problem at Subaru Park.
Potentially, right ball was kicked out of play because Damiani was down.
Damiani pleading his case too. Gustavo's like, I don't know what are you talking about. I know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. I can do this. Let's see. Did I get there?
35 minutes. It's been a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's New York right now, but finally,
I'd say a little unfortunate not to have the lead, obviously, because you hit the post, and anytime you hit the post, it's unfortunate. But I don't feel too bad with the 0-0 at the moment. But I think we're unlucky not to be 1-0 up, and I guess there's also an argument that you're lucky not to be down a goal as well.
Yeah, I would say you're probably luckier to not be down a goal.
Oh, that's fantastic play. Ball down the wing. Ojeda. Good ball into Nico, who gets a shot on goal, and Wolf's going to finish the rebound, and it's 1-0.
That's what they needed right there.
There you go. Threading the needle. It worked. Once again, another brilliant buildup on the left wing, and then just threading the needle down. And all the City fans in the stadium are going wild as New York City, for the first time this year, take the lead.
And that is a huge goal on so many fronts here because you needed that confidence after that first half.
Hannes Wolf gets his first of the season.
And Hannes Wolf was in the center too. Hannes Wolf was in the 9 today, which is unusual. But good back pass up. They're showing the replay right here.
That's a fantastic ball from Ojeda there.
Yeah, Ojeda with the great
Yeah. Then Hannes Wolf just taking that space where usually Alonso Martinez or a striker would take, and then he just absolutely hammers the rebound into the back of the net from 6 yards out.
And also, what's also big about this too is the fact that Hannes Wolf was in the right position at the right time.
Yep.
He was where he was there to catch that rebound.
He didn't have a choice. He had to score that 6 yards out.
There we go.
They win the ball midfield, but it's going to be brought back for a foul.
Yeah, 38 minutes in. So
Keaton pulled somebody. The ref didn't like it.
Keaton was excited to do that press conference this week, though. He was really fired up about it because it was a sense of relief because there was a lot of questions about whether or not he was even going to ever play again. I think one of the questions
he's done well so far.
Yeah,
Keaton Parks.
He had the one bad turnover though early on.
Yeah, should have scored. You could argue should have scored.
You had that basically got a little too fancy right there.
There's one pass too many there.
Mm-hmm. Ball out of play. 38 minutes in.
What a huge 3 points this would be going into the home opener next week.
Absolutely. It's too early to say that because you're going to expect Riley Carnell to come back.
Yeah.
But this is not a must win, but this is a should win for both teams. It's too early to say to put panicking.
Considering Philly heavily rotated for the midweek against Defense Force.
Yeah.
You would think that them being at home against a team that doesn't have an out-and-out number 9, they probably should take the win here. But New York City and Maxey gives up or Aiden O'Neal gives up a poor foul there, and he picks up another yellow.
He gets a yellow. Yeah, well, he's Yellow Haven. Him and like Strahinja.
And that comes yet off another turnover in the defensive third. I think he should have just let that go. He took a poor touch. He should have just let that go. What is that? Back-to-back yellows now so far?
So opportunity for Philadelphia here as we're closing in on the end of the first half. Like I was saying this before, actually, because right now you don't know. I don't know if you know this, but actually I'm broadcasting here on Streampunk Soccer, and I'm broadcasting here on my personal TikTok. Almost a Z-list celebrity, by the way. Check it out. But for me, it's weird because I've been covering this team since 2021, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was operating between like Law and Order SVU and NYCFC at the same time. I gained a couple pounds since then, though, unfortunately. So I got to bring that down, especially by October, November, because I got to be down about 45 pounds by the time we go back to Japan.
Is that for like any special occasion, or you just want to hit the goal yourself?
Off record, going there is a possible export scouting trip. And basically a possibility of expatting in the next couple of years. But we're going to go there again, check it out, see, make sure if it's something that's legit. The cost of living is like ridiculously low over there too. Holy shit! You can on Japanese minimum wage, it's like $6 a month. You can actually have an apartment and like full food, electricity, and everything, or $6 an hour. Sorry. So yeah, Japanese minimum wage, you can actually live in an apartment on your own. Thiago Martin's holding on to his junk. That's the one thing about these lineups when you have like that free kick there. You get all the guys there just They're just protecting. Yeah, Aiden's protecting the junk down there.
Yeah, and the free kicks right into the wall and booted out.
Yeah, right, right into the stomach of, I think, Thiago Martin's right there.
Yeah.
I remember last year.
Well, you cover the midsection to the chest, and you cover the bowel area as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember last year Strahini got nailed in the junk and actually just dropped to the car, dropped to the grass. It was hilarious. I felt bad for him, but it was hilarious.
You get hit in that area as a guy, you're down for at least 5 minutes.
Everybody, it's funny. You laugh at it, but at the same time, you sympathize.
Yeah.
My wife just outright just laughs at it because she doesn't really like understand.
Yeah, because they'll never get it.
Exactly. It's like, well, you give birth. Yeah, you give birth like 2 or 3 times in your life. Guaranteed, pretty much at least minimum once a year, you're getting hit in the junk if you're a guy. Childbirth is by far worse, but you know what? There's drugs for that too. So,
try controlling a football with your junk.
There's probably a game controller for that on PS5. I'm gonna have to ask have to ask my gaming guys on that too.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to the Mics. We're launching a charity gaming channel at this point on the Streampunk umbrella. That's going to be going live possibly next week. Working the details out there, but raising money for charity to feed the hungry and all these kind of things. So kind of excited by that one. Got a little more charity work coming in the horizon for us. I'm grateful and excited. Work for the blind, work for the hungry.
What's the word with the press passes? Or like, did you get an update on that? Or
I haven't gotten anything from the team yet, and I'm guessing because of the fact that it's the home opener. I've gotten a few people actually reaching out to me and saying, "Have you heard anything?" I haven't. So either I've been fired and they didn't, we've all been fired and they didn't tell us, or it's slow running. I know that they had some changeover in management with NYCFC, but I've had a couple people from a couple of different columns reach out to me. It's like, "Have you heard anything?" No, I haven't. So I've got to assume it's going to be coming like anytime this week.
Nico's through.
Nico with a breakaway. He's on the bad angle though. That's the problem.
There's no numbers to support him. Nico back heel.
Hey,
Vaughn. Shot on goal. Maxi. It looks like they're trying to keep it, and the ref got in the way.
Maxi had an opportunity there if he was able to get the rebound and pass it, but not pass it.
It's going to be a drop ball because the ref touched it.
Referee in this case is Chris Orzo. I've known Chris for a few years or so. Good guy. Chris Rivet is my main contact with the pro ref this year. So 44 minutes in. I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of stoppage time on this. Maybe like 3 minutes, I'm thinking. Pass off the right side, goes out of play, and it will be a goal kick for Mr. Blake. So, yeah, I'll say it again. Basically, I said it before. If you know anybody who's looking to cover teams inside MLS or USL or all the way down to anything above the 18-year-old level, no, I do not basically cover any kids teams for obvious reasons. And I don't just mean soccer. I mean, basically, if you want to cover lacrosse, if you want to cover highlight, if you want to cover, I don't know, rugby, let me know in the comments. We can set it up.
Oh, shot goes just wide of the post.
Shot with an opportunity right there, 45 minutes in.
Looks like Freese had it covered.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Oh, we cover esports as well?
We might break into esports. Right now, I got the charity side and the gaming side. We're working on some stuff as far as like games that are way out of my league.
Any motorsports up there?
They might. I don't know. The games that they talk about are stuff that I don't remember. I come from a video game era of like SNES, PlayStation 1, 2.
Yeah.
I got a PS3 over here, but I barely use it. So most of the stuff I do is earlier generation. But they're doing Battle Fortress, they're doing like GTA and stuff like that. 3 minutes of stoppage time. But yeah, if you have interest on that, let me know. Everything would be a remote. There is a Discord that we have set up for that as well. But that's not permanent yet. We're still working the kinks out on that one. But yeah, I like the idea of being able to do it to raise money for charities and shit.
Philly had a little link up there and passes, but it's end up going to go out for a goal kick.
Thiago Martin's chirping about something 45 minutes in.
How's the because you go to the press box a lot and you cover the team very well. Is it hard to get into the Miami game? Do you have any information on how many outlets
I can get myself into Miami. That's for sure.
Okay.
I've done it in the past. I've done it for here. I've done it for Red Bull as well. So that's not difficult. In Philly, we might have done Philly at some point with against Miami. But yeah, short version is
at Subaru, yeah.
I believe we did Subaru. Yeah, no, it would have been Subaru, not Miami itself.
Good block by Tavon.
Good block for Tavon, but it is another corner, by the way. Yeah, I think we've covered Messi and Inter Miami at 3 different stadiums. If we didn't do the Union for whatever reason, I guarantee we can do it. It's not difficult because I got guys at the Union game right now covering for us. So shout out to Pat Bernard, Kyle Krieger,
and their press thing says Stream Punk, right?
It does. It's under my umbrella. If I have to use a different company, I have connections with other arenas. Pass up and great stop actually by Matt Freese on that catch there.
A lot of pressure on that.
Yeah. He rolls the ball out a little sooner than okay.
Not sure what happened there, but
they're going to go to a replay because I don't think anybody was expecting Matt Freese to roll that ball out that fast. I think they were expecting him to take his time on this. Yeah. Okay.
The camera was stuck on Freese for a second, but City's on the break.
It's a freeze frame. So, you have to assume if this game ends 1-0 at halftime that Philadelphia's coming out of the gate with a vengeance in that second half.
Yeah.
You have to assume this because you're looking at a team
Philly,
right now. Yeah.
Philly's going to want to get up here for possibly what could be the last attack in the first half.
Last possibility here. Good pass across.
Harriel whips it in, but nobody's home, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. And you would assume that's going to be the end of the first half.
Probably close. I mean, Matt's going to probably take his time on this.
Yeah.
He'll boot the ball into the midfield and just burn clock. But last week, don't forget the
people are leaving their seats.
Yep.
And I think he's blown. He has blown. Yep. Halftime. We're up 1-0.
There we go. All right. So NYCFC is up 1-0 at half.
Surprisingly, they didn't have a halftime lead until May for last year, which is a shocking stat to to kind of put out there. But week 2, and they have a halftime lead, and they've in my opinion, I think they looked the better team past 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I think in those final 15, it's been New York City, and then Philly have had chances as well. They've had some breakaways, they've had some counterattacks, but New York City has done well to avert those threats.
Absolutely. And I think in this case, it needed time to get the team to gel a little bit, which they finally did after a while. But you have to assume, because remember, last week, the Philadelphia Union were down 1-0 at halftime then, too. And in a game they lost to, honestly, a surprising DC United team. So you have to assume they're going to be coming out with a fury because they're going to be afraid of Bradley Cornell's vengeance if they go down 0-2. I'll be curious to see, like I said, what that team ends up doing. By the way, in case anybody's asking, no, I cannot get you into World Cup. That's going to be a totally different conversation.
Oh yeah, that's going to be difficult.
World Cup has got a lot of problems right now. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow morning, me and Bill Akins at 11 o'clock on Stream Punk Soccer. And I might throw it up on TikTok because you know what? Let me try this. Because Pat Bernard's up my ass and says, you got to go on TikTok at the same time. So I'm like, all right, fine. But the announcement that came down that World Cup is charging $225 for handicap parking at MetLife Arena. Handicap, not regular parking. Handicap parking at MetLife Arena for World Cup is $225. To say nothing of tickets, say nothing of transportation, say nothing of food.
That's just parking alone.
That's parking alone, dude. And that's handicap parking. That's not even like the regular parking. And SoFi Stadium in LA is going to be it's supposed to be pushing $300.
$300, yeah, that's insane, man.
For the handicap parking. So yeah, we'll be talking about that tomorrow. We'll talk about the possible USL strike, which may be on the horizon right now. I know Eric Dick of Indy 11's been all over that one. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'll probably recap this league, this week as well. But by taking your thoughts, taking your ideas, taking your comments, and of course, naturally, your complaints as well. But
they play an Etihad Park ad.
It's funny. It's weird. It's weird and it's not. But Etihad Park being an Olympic destination for soccer in 2028, I think is a great grab. It's a huge grab. I think from a U.S. perspective, the Olympics is bigger than World Cup because World Cup is niche. But
yeah, I would say so to the average American. Yeah, I would say so.
Americans typically don't care about sports they never invented. Which is why things like soccer, hockey, even the Olympics aren't that big. Highlight, rugby. But you look at the big three sports, baseball, football, and NBA, invented in the United States. So what are the biggest sports here? Those. But I think with the Olympics, though, I think it's going to add a little bit of credibility to the soccer world, maybe even more than World Cup will. At least in this area, because it's like, okay, we got the Olympics literally here in New York. What is it? Soccer. All right, fine, I'll go see it. But let me know in the comments.
Not only that, you're going to have a world-class facility as well.
Yeah. The first ever, I think, fully solar panel run stadium. And
I think it's the first electric.
That's what it is. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Next weekend for the home opener against Orlando, 2:30 p.m. by the way, Eastern. It's on a Saturday, which I love that because that means I'm basically back to the house at like 6:30 at night. The 7:30 games can be a little rough, so after a while.
What time do you usually get back at home after those games?
2:30, 5:30, probably about 6, because it'll be maybe 6:15.
7:30 games?
7:30 games. It'll probably be more like 11:30. Because the game is 2 hours, then press conference and kibitzing is another hour on top of that, and then 25 minutes to an hour on the way back. The night games are the bitch of it because the night games is when they decide to do construction on the GW, and they'll completely destroy. They'll completely cut down.
And that's on weekends, or is that just
it could be either one. I've had both. Huh. So in this case, what for whatever reason, I don't know why they do this, but they will shut down the entire lower level. And then shut down the upper level to just one lane. So you have normally 6 on the GW. It's normally like 6 different lanes. They'll cut it all down to one and just backlog it all the way. And I don't care what time of night it is. It sucks. But yeah, 2:30 start, which means it may deal with a little bit of traffic on the way back. But I've talked to Joe Tollison about this, and Joe agrees because he lives in Jersey like I do. Being able to get there when the traffic's not bad, being able to get back when the sun is still out. It's a nice feeling. It's a really cool feeling. So sun may be setting by the time we get out of the stadium. Yeah. So I could live, like I said, I can live with that. But you kind of it's this weird feeling of just. I went to the game today. It's like basically if you ever went to a sporting event in the middle of the afternoon and then you have the rest of your night to kind of live in the afterglow of where you just were. That's kind of what it is even on the press side as well. And I haven't seen Juan Carlos for a while. I haven't seen people like JJ or a lot of those, Andrew Lee. I haven't seen these guys for a few months. It'll be a good chance to catch up. And Lord knows Yankee Stadium's grub is amazing. Strip steak, penne and vodka, boneless chicken, ice cream on tap if the machine works. They have a better success rate than McDonald's though. But I think I'm excited for that. And Orlando is a good team. They're always a good 5, 6, 7 level team.
I want to say with McDonald's that I heard some employees say when they say it's broken, they just don't want to clean the machine.
Yeah.
So they just make up that excuse like, oh, it's broken today.
It's some weird proprietary thing where it's like all the parts come from one company, and getting be difficult. I think something like that. And as a result, it's just easy. I mean, I don't know. I worked at Burger King, as a teenager, and I knew a little bit of what that was like. And it's just easier sometimes to just lie to customers and get them to believe it than actually do actual work.
Yeah.
Because when you're a teenager, you don't want to deal with asshole customers. You want to eat free food, get paid.
I mean, I don't think at any age you want to deal with any asshole customers.
No. So
I think recently though, I do think that they've had more success with the ice cream machines. I don't think they're not using that excuse anymore. I think I don't know if they switched companies or if they got better machines or they actually have people clean them at the end of the night. But
are you talking Yankee Stadium or McDonald's?
I'm talking McDonald's.
Okay.
I think recent times I don't think it's been too bad.
NCAA hockey and an outdoor game at Etihad, I can see it. Outdoor games typically can be a little rough because the ice doesn't feel the same way as it does inside a rink. I've heard that complaint a lot. But I think that would be a really good marketing move. Right now, NCAA hockey and like I think the New York Sirens or something, they play at American Dream Mall in Jersey because that's literally what the American Dream Mall is to get people to come out. I did a pay-per-view boxing event there years ago at American Dream Mall because they get no bodies. But at Etihad Park, I think is a great opportunity to try and get some plug there. And if it doesn't overlap with the soccer schedule, sure. You can knock something like that out in the middle of winter, maybe like a New Year's Day type of game. You can get a lot of pub for that stadium. So I hadn't heard that, but I love the idea. It's right. By the way, Daniel, do you turn 30 next year? Asking by your username. But yeah, next week should be good. I haven't checked the weather, but I think it's going to be more or less okay.
You think you can get me into the Miami game, or is that going to be a bit of a challenge under your umbrella?
Probably can do it as long as basically the team doesn't hate your ass, which I haven't actually asked about that.
I don't think they do. I just think
talk to Esteban. It's like, oh god, that guy. Let's see. When are they playing Inter Miami at home?
It's March 22nd, 21st.
Oh shit, really? That soon?
I think so. Yeah, it's a couple weeks.
Right. March 22nd. All right. Yeah, it's a Sunday. It's a 1 o'clock start on a Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Honestly, that's not horrible either. 1 o'clock on a Sunday, you go there. You have the rest of the Sunday to yourself.
I'd be back by 5 o'clock. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about rushing to get home and then to get ready for work the next day. So that's nice.
It's like I said, it has that weird afterglow feeling. So yeah, let me check into that. I'm gonna be heading up to the stadium this week. I'm up to Orangeburg this week because I got to talk to Esteban about a few things. I got to talk to the team about some other things in the pipeline.
Are you like the unsung, like I don't know how to put it. I guess like the unofficial leader for like the everybody representing, like the unofficial representative, or
on the soccer side, no. I mean, me and Trey are the main two pool reporters for NYCFC.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know which order, who's number one, who's number two. I don't even care. If he's number one, I personally couldn't give a crap.
Yeah.
But as far as like who's up there, usually Roberto Abramowitz is up there a lot.
Glenn Crooks as well.
Glenn Crooks. Mohammed from the Exchange can be up there a fair bit. A couple other guys I can't remember offhand. But because we have this thing in the pipeline with Buenos Aires, I got to talk to Esteban about basically working with some of the players and getting some news pieces and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
would you work with Nico because he's from Argentina? So I don't know if that's because I know they asked for Maxi and Ojeda, but I don't know about Nico.
Yeah, I don't think they're overly picky on something like this.
Okay,
like I said, I think it was what.
I guess they just want to shine the light on the Argentine players on the team. So
and Messi's out of everyone's reach. So
yeah, I mean, it'd be dumb enough. I mean, it'd be dumb not to have Nico Fernandez on that list as well.
Sure,
with him being from Argentina. So
and I even with my limited Spanish, which is okay but not great. I can have somebody else like Esteban or Gabriel Orlando, sit there and feed the questions.
Or even Roberto.
Roberto could possibly do it too.
Yeah.
Roberto, I haven't seen him since last season. I'm looking forward to that.
Spanish is brilliant.
Yeah. It's funny. Ariel, I have never spoken to once. I have never had one single conversation with this color guy. Matty Lawrence with Glenn Crooks, yeah. But him, dude, I have said hello to this guy and it's just like nothing.
What is he, like MIA or something? Or
no, he's there at every game. I'll see him next week. But I can't get a word out of this dude. And it's not even like I'm speaking English. I'm speaking Spanish to the guy.
But you'd be like, "Hola, cómo estás?"
¿Cómo está? ¿Se bien?
And he's just like,
yeah, nothing. I'll be like, okay, lo siento. But now Roberto's cool. So second half, can NYCFC hold this?
Can they hold or can they add to it?
That's the question. That's the $64,000 question, sir. Oh, sorry about that. You know what it is? Like I said, it's the name. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's the screen name. So, unless you were born in unless you were born September 7th, 2019, which is possible too, But you're a kid. I was 29 once. It was not a good year for me. But we don't actually know who you are necessarily, so you should be fine. Anyway, second half should be getting underway forthwith, I would imagine. This is probably as good a chance as any to throw one more shameless plug out there, by the way. Throw this down at the bottom here. Our commercial division is also expanding. So if you know a small business that's looking to actually get video, audio, and musical scoring for any of your products that you have out there, restaurants, diners, bars, gyms, whatever it may be. We have projects, we have video, we have commercials that we will film for you and help you assist with you and put it on TNT, Hallmark Channel, Animal Planet, and a whole bunch more. So that was a terrible ad on my side, probably a terrible read because I made it up as I went along. But suffice it to say, yeah, if you actually have interest, somebody who's looking to actually do a commercial of any kind, or just in general get some video and footage to be able to promote their own brand, let me know in the comments or drop me a message at info@streampunkent.com. And we'll set it up. The goal is not to break your budget with it because Lord knows that you don't have. If I had Bezos money, I wouldn't be here. And if you had Bezos money, you probably wouldn't be doing the job. So, but anyway, we'll keep it affordable. We'll keep it, basically in your best benefit. And you'll be able to keep all the footage going forward because I don't really need the footage. And you know what? Use it down the line. Anyway.
Not sure if you shared up the halftime stats. 40% possession for Philadelphia compared to 60 for NYC. XG 0.28 for Philly, 1.39 for NYCFC, 6 shots to 7 in favor of New York City, and then 4 shots on target for NYCFC compared to Philly's 0.
Yeah. Last week, when you think about what that team did and how it was struggling offensively, to get 4 shots on goal in the first half, that'll be a conversation. That'd be a question that we're going to bring up probably.
And to be unlucky not to be up by multiple goals as well.
True. But it took a while for the team to get itself gelled, which almost in some ways, it's actually a bad sign, the fact that it was halftime anyway, because they were rolling and they were doing well. They were gelling.
Yeah.
So, it's halftime is one of those things that can be really great for you or terrible for you. In this case, it actually hurt them, but it's a good problem to have because you are up 1-0.
Yeah, and historically, under Pascal Janssen, we've just been a better second half team.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, Philadelphia goes down 0-2, in this point here. There's probably already going to be talk to actually get rid of Bradley Carnell. Carnell did not do well in his second season with St. Louis, so you're going to be curious to see if that's going to be the same kind of thing here.
Yeah. I mean, despite them absolutely dismantling Defense Force by 11 goals on aggregate.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're like what, semi-pro? You'd expect a professional football team to absolutely dismantle a team like Defense Force.
I think it was 5-0 and 7-0. I think were the numbers, right?
May have been 4 and 7, could be 5 and 7, but the aggregate was definitely in double digits. Yeah,
and it's funny. I'm kind of intrigued because I barely knew about the team called Defense Force, and now I was like, I want to learn more about them.
It's a cool name.
It's an incredible name. I mean, obviously their defense was offensive, but
there's one team called, I think it's like Police FC or something like that, the Police Force or something. I don't know. It's like these teams in the Caribbean, they have cool names.
Yeah, let's see. What can we find out about Defense Force? Defense Force FC. Can I buy ownership? Oh yeah. They're in the TT Premier League, and also with Police FC and Prison Service.
Some brilliant names there.
There's a team called Prison Service. Hey, you know what? They're 10-2 and 5 though. Give them credit. God, dude. Prison Service. I mean, do you really want to play for a team called Prison Service?
I mean, if it gets you out of prison faster, why not?
Is that what the team is, man? Yeah, Defense Force has the most titles. They have 25 titles. Maple Club is second with 13.
It's like a place that's a lot of catching up to do.
They have a team called Joe Public too. I like that. That's an awesome name.
Yeah, so Philly are putting on the pressure immediately after the break.
As expected. Yeah, you have to figure that Philly was going to come out, with teeth showing.
Yeah.
Oh, crap! I got to change that. Sorry about that. Just realized I didn't change this thing. There we go. Sorry about that. 48 minutes in. By the way, the win probability switched from NYCFC at 23% to now 57%. Because initially it was a 50% chance that the Philadelphia Union were going to come out away with a victory. And now they're in the teens at this point. Per DraftKings. So, foul at this point. I believe the ball is going to be going back to Philadelphia.
It's a foul on the Philly player, so it's Tavon to switch.
That is exactly what I should have said there. But
Ojeda driving, cleared away. Does City get back into the defensive shape? They're forcing Philly back.
Yeah, they are. They seem definitely more put together after that, despite halftime. And now it's Philly that's playing on their heels a little bit.
Yeah. It looks like just after that 10 to 15 minute stretch of where it was almost unwatchable football to New York City that they seem to settle in and they seem to get the game plan in and their reward paid off and suffering and getting a good goal.
Philly trying to drive into the box at this point.
Yep, and they're just going to force him back.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to thread the needle, but it's very well defended by Raul Gustavo.
Maxi Morales takes the ball out at this point.
Nico wanting to spring. There it is.
There's the
ball right to Ojeda.
Can Ojeda get into the box? There, pass across. Good back pass by Keaton Parks, by the way.
Nico with the shot. Good save by Andre Blake.
But nobody.
And a handball on Maxi Morales. It's going to be a free kick for Philly.
Yeah. Good opportunity for New York on that one, but nobody close enough to get that.
And another shot on target for the City Boys.
Yeah, that's night and day versus what it was last week.
It just seems like they just feel more comfortable playing now after one match and with Keaton in there as well.
You also had to figure that given the fact that Philly lost last year, that there would be a little bit more of a revenge mode going on. But it doesn't feel like that. I thought there'd be a little more of an offensive push here.
It felt like it for moments in the first half that they wanted to really come out and put a statement on and get the win and avenge the loss last year. But it's kind of calmed down a bit. And to City's credit, they've managed it really well and got the lead. And as they try to defend here,
51st minute right now.
Yeah, 51 minutes in, so far so good. If you're New York City,
throw in for Philly in this one. I can't believe you catch him on a cheesesteak. God, it's so weird.
What do you usually have on a cheese? What is it, like sour cream or something? Or
well, for me, it ends up being like a caramelized onion, maybe
a little bit like what kind mayo, maybe as a condiment,
possibly mayo, yeah, or you just do it straight up.
Maxi is going to win a foul.
Tripped. Yes, Pat, we're talking about your decision to put ketchup on a cheesesteak. You do not do Philadelphia proud there, sir. But yeah, Subaru Park is a nice stadium. It really is. It's a pain in the ass to get to, though. That's the only problem. Aiden O'Neill with a pass back. Nico trying to break through.
And Aiden O'Neill still has the ball.
They did not call a foul on that either. Interesting. They're going to let it in. The band keeps playing on. Thiago Martins with a clear, but couldn't break it. But a turnover by Tavon Gray. No, Philadelphia's trying to work its way back into the box again. This is critical. I feel like Philly's are starting to get a little momentum going right now.
And now it pass intercepted.
They can break through as an opportunity.
Advantage as a referee.
Good pass by Agostino Hayes, who's tripping to basically keep that ball in play.
Was he offside there, or is that going to be a corner?
Might be a corner.
Offside.
Oh, they're going offside. All right. MLS teams playing, displaying the USA 250 emblem right in the middle of the jersey.
Yep.
Because holy crap, the United States is 250 years old. And I was old enough when it turned 200.
They've been 76, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I was only an infant, but I was alive at the time. So Philly with another opportunity. Shot blocked. Well, not so much blocked, but more Thiago Martins was in the way of it. But you know what? It still counts just the same.
That's a good dummy there to get into Westwood out wide. Cross sent in.
Header up. Yep.
Ball still bouncing around, but the shot's right to Matt Freese.
Yeah. Not a lot of leg up, not a lot of leg on that kick, but is that Losky? Yeah.
Good one too between Maxi and Nico there. And they spread the ball out to Ojeda.
Ojeda's had a good game today.
Yeah.
There's been some questions about that kid, but I think the offseason's done him some good. I'm rooting for him too.
Good ball. Wolf wide and a corner.
54 minutes in now, about 55. Oh yeah, we got to talk about that. No, I'm not going there that soon. Oh my God, really? That's Japanese baseball season starts that soon? Holy shit. Nico Fernandez Mercado with the corner at this point. And nope. No real chance on that corner for New York City FC. And up and out of play. The only question is where is it going to go out of bounds?
Yeah,
and
corner kick. Seems like Philly and the pieces that they lost over the offseason is kind of making a difference.
This is a team that's going to take a few weeks to gel, possibly even as far as maybe even like mid-April before they really get it together. But yeah, they lost so much in that offseason. My God. And up and over, and it will be out of play now.
No, foul. Foul at the end line there. I'm going to go turn on my light. It's a bit too dark in here.
Go for it. Let's see. Sorry, I was watching the game, so I've been missing these comments. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually looking forward to the match on March 22nd. Payback for the previous two games. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what's funny? I think this is going to be the game they have an opportunity because Inter Miami is going to phone this in until, I don't know, what are you thinking? Probably like August, September? And then at that point,
I mean, not only that, they're in Champions Cup. So, after them winning MLS, them winning the Shield, you would think all their focus is in the Champions Cup, and Nico has a terrible volley that goes well wide, and it's offside anyway. And as well, Messi and DePaul, they might want to sit a couple games out because of the World Cup. They want to go to Argentina as defending champions. And, I think they're in the mentality of that they want to be the first team since, I believe, who would it have been? Brazil, maybe, a while back at this point, and to be the first national team to go back to back in the World Cup. So
could be.
You would think that they'd want to win it again, and what would be Messi's final dance at the biggest stage of the sport.
Very likely, yeah. I mean, you got to wonder how many more years he's going to have.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar to the 2024 season where Messi probably sat a couple games out because he was tired or fitness, and then as well season. He wanted to go to Copa America and win it. So yeah, I could see them, kind of rotate. I mean, I could see a world where Messi doesn't even play NYCFC at all.
Possibly not. And also, you look at that team too, and you see that you also have to look at the sprint season next year too, and what that's going to do on the legs of all the players.
Oh, Hayda dribbled a little bit too much. I would have liked to see him spring O'Toole in. He was making that darting run. And the ball's been given up here.
Best way to get to Subaru Park is by driving or chartering a bus. That is correct. Yes, it's in the town of Chester, actually. So it's actually technically not in Philadelphia itself. It's funny because that stadium, it has really one road in and one road out. So it is a pain in the ass to get out of there.
Everyone's coming in and everyone's going out at the same time.
They come in pieces, but they all leave at the same time, basically the same time. For Pat, he's going to be a little bit later because he's got the press conference with Carnell.
Yeah, so he'll have basically an open road to.
It's not much easier though. I'll be honest, because a lot of the fans stay back a little bit because it is an earlier start for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a Wednesday night, they may be more quick to try and get out. But yeah, it's kind of a pain in the neck to get out of there.
You've been yourself, right?
Not for a few years, but yeah, because. For me, it's not worth the drive, like 110 miles.
Yeah.
Nice, like I said, nice stadium.
How was it, and what match were you covering?
I've done a few. It was all the NYCFC matches that they've done, but I don't think I've been down there since like 2023 or 24. The one that the first time I was down there though was the Eastern Conference Final in 2021, and
that was the Talis Magno game.
That was the Talis Magno game, and the no Andre Blake and no like any Philadelphia Union players because they had COVID.
Yeah,
because they were at the party. They all got COVID at a party they weren't supposed to go to, and voila. But I remember some lady in the stands like, "You beat a third string team."
Well, it's not their fault that they went out inside to have a good time when the biggest match in club history. Oh, and the save by Freeze. Ball still there. No foul called there. And the scoop is just going to go out of bounds. Yeah.
60th minute.
But yeah, it's completely not. It's not City's fault or anybody associated with NYCFC why Philly got COVID and anything like that. I mean, that falls on the players. They should have been preparing, and they should have been at home for the preparing for the biggest game in club history at the time.
Yeah. Ironically, it gave a start to the then unknown Matt Freeze, though. Go figure. Because that was, I think, Matt's first or second start for Philly. He had barely had any experience. Nobody had any idea who this kid was.
What a touch by Raul Gustavo there to break.
Yep. Pass up on a cross, but it's going to basically be Philadelphia's ball just the same.
Yeah, try to find Wolf there, but wasn't enough.
Trip and down. Nico's net.
Yeah, it looks like the game has had some sloppy giveaways here and there, and a couple of physical interactions. But I think you'd expect that from a New York Philly matchup, the physicality of it. But I think the both teams have had terrible giveaways.
And Chris, for the most part, is letting the players play. He's not calling a lot of fouls here.
So I can appreciate that as a referee, letting the game go.
Yeah.
Not calling every single little thing.
So Nico trying to break free of a neutral zone trap and unable to do so. Tight in the box there. Tight space in that one. Pass up on the left side.
Crosses in, but it's cleared away by Ojeda.
Ojeda's having a good game.
And a foul called on Nico, and that's going to be a New York City free kick.
That's what they needed to get out of the break.
But I think, Scott, if I'm being realistic with you, I think most of the year without a striker, they're going to have to do this, what they did in the first half against Philly. They're just going to have to hold on for dear life and
get
a couple of chances, take a couple of them, and try and call it a day and suffer even more. I think that's what they're going to have to do, and that's what they're going to have to rely on. Just that midfield and the defense. They're going to have to carry them to get points without a striker so far.
And the problem is every single match you have and every single minute is more footage for the next team to watch your style without a striker.
Yeah.
So they're getting more and more footage on Nico and, Hannes and all of them in a situation where they don't have a 9. So every team gets smarter than the last one.
Yeah. Until you decide to put Talos Magno in there, or maybe you decide to give Seymour Reed a couple of minutes to burn, and then you give teams something to think about going into the week. But this is just the way they're going to have to play until they get a striker, if they get a striker this window, or until post World Cup.
But this won't last forever. Eventually, they're going to, if they don't get something resolved here, it's going to be a concern on this.
I like Pascal's hat. I like how
I was just going to say the hat. I saw the hat and I stopped talking about what I was going to talk about there.
I love the fact that he rocks hats, but I mean, I guess when you don't have hair on your head, I guess you're going to have to wear a hat in the cold.
Why do I wear a hat over here, I wonder? So good pass across into the box for Philly.
And Vasilov with a poor touch.
Yeah.
And it allows City to clear.
Ball's going to go out of play, but it will be a throw in for Philly almost at midfield.
It doesn't look like City have had many chances in the second half. They are defending well, but the threat is still there, and it looks like the threat looms even closer for Philly to get that equalizing goal.
So pass across. Yet another offside.
But they do love coming down that left-hand flank for Philly. They do like going down that flank more.
Ouch. Showing Bradley Cornell right now in his second season with the Philadelphia Union. Philadelphia's home record last year, a stellar 12-1-4. But they lost. A big reason why they lost the playoff match to NYCFC was because of the fact they had a 3-week layoff.
Yeah,
this is the problem with Eastern Conference with supporter shield teams. You saw it in 2021. The Revolution set a record for most points. What happened? They faced NYCFC on 3 weeks rest, 23 days rest, and they couldn't gel. NYCFC is probably the single luckiest MLS Cup champion in history because they're just the way the chips fell. Because if they played a Philadelphia team with a full lineup without COVID, it didn't go on that run. There's no way that NYCFC would have won that match.
I think some people will disagree with you there, but still the chips fell their way and they took them.
Yeah, I mean, you take the opportunity.
Ultimately, history remembers the winners.
Indeed, true. You got to assume NYCFC is going to do some substitutions now, 65 minutes in.
Oh, there's a chance, and it's wide.
Up wide, and out of play. Nathan Harriel, knowing he had an opportunity, they're pleading the case to the officials about a possible foul inside the box.
I mean, yeah, there is contact there, but however, the ball still went through, and he still had a shot. So, technically speaking, he played the advantage, and they just couldn't take advantage of it. I saw him point, and I thought it was going to be a penalty, but it seems like he was pointing for a goal kick. But in that situation, what's going on? Oh, they're going to the screen. It looks like they're going to check it.
I had a feeling they were going to do that too.
There's contact, but the ball was still there for a Philly player to have a shot and he missed it.
So curious to see what they end up doing here, what they're looking at.
I mean, I'm expecting a penalty to be called, but there is some contact, but is that enough? It's very little.
Yeah, somebody's going to be pissed on this one. It's funny. Ted Uncle said that the hardest thing as an official isn't basically what's on the pitch. It's the fact that literally everybody in the entire stadium and everybody watching is waiting for you to look at a screen. And he's like, it is so difficult to sit there and do your job knowing that everybody's impatiently waiting to see what you come back with.
Well, they should have a time limit on these things.
They could.
If they can't come to a conclusion in 2 minutes, the call on the field should stand. I think that should be a rule.
And that's the other side of it too. It has to be conclusively overturned.
If you can't make it, if you have to watch it there for 5 minutes, I think the call on the field should stand. If you can't come up with a decision with 2 minutes.
Is that the clock on the bottom right? By the way, how long they've been looking? 2:25.
I don't see a clock.
The bottom right camera.
Oh, could be. But here's the thing: do you have to watch it over and over again to come to a?
Well, it's about getting the call right.
I think they're going to ultimately give a penalty here.
I have a feeling they're going to call that too. Yeah, that's what I feel like is going to happen here. Because usually when it's a VAR, it's typically going to be overturned, statistically speaking. But it looks like we got. Oh no, I thought we had it. No, we don't. Oh, now here we go.
A goal kick. There we go. We're lucky. Two for two. We get lucky on in VAR.
So that's going to piss off Bradley Carnell and Entourage.
Dude, I genuinely thought we were going to pay it. I thought karma was going to come back to bite us from last week. But, yeah, I think, I mean, obviously, you're going to piss off either half of the fans on one end and half of the fans on the other. So, ultimately, with the referee, nobody's going to be happy. It's a thankless job at the end of the day. But we dodged the bullet on that one. I'll tell you that.
Indeed. $70 minutes in at this point.
I bet you that was Inter Miami, they call it.
I try not to think of it that way, but at the same time, yeah. You get the Messis, you get the Patrick Mahomeses.
You get the Brady's.
Oh yeah. Tuck rule game against what was it?
Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Back when they had some relevance.
Oh God, I feel bad. I feel bad for Oakland as just a city in general that way. They just get rooked. Header up, ball's out of the box, but Philadelphia still maintains control in near the NYCFC box at this point.
That's and that time that we lost is definitely going to add that into to the end of the game.
Oh, Hader trying to get the ball out over to Kevin O'Toole, who drops it, passes it out.
No, not quite cleared yet. And the header, Martins shields that. It's going to be Freeze's ball.
Yep. 71 minutes in. Still no substitutions for NYCFC.
I'd like to see Magno come on here. And it looks like Magno. Yeah, it looks like Magno's ready to come in. If I'm not mistaken, I did see a light blue jersey on the sideline. Sofsky slips.
Well, yeah. Alowski would have had a golden opportunity if he didn't slide there. It's just something about the pitch on that side seems to be a problem today.
Yeah, it seems like the elements from the blizzard may have an effect on this, and they're going to stop play because somebody on Philly is down, and Alowski is absolutely irate at the referee
for no call.
Kicks the ball away. Yeah, for a head injury, they're going to stop. on number 29. Oh, yeah, but he just collides with his teammate there. So they're going to give him the concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's the same trainer that they had years ago that got into the match, got into the shoving match with Maxi Morales, and like just took out. Yep, I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it as well.
Yeah. Yep, I think it's the same guy all those years. And he just took Maxi Morales down. It's really kind of funny.
And that was at the height of the rivalry as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 22 or 23, I think.
22. And then 23, City just had that terrible year. And then Philly had this Phillies turn out have a terrible year the season after that. So
yeah,
the rivalries kind of wind down in the past couple of years, but no love lost. No, it's actually Seymour Reed. Seymour Reed is coming in for Maxi Morales.
Yep. Maxi's night is done. 39-year-old Maxi Morales, who just turned 39 this week. Replacing by someone who's literally half his age. Seymour Reed sporting his 99 jersey.
Now, for the first time this season, they're going to have a natural striker on the field.
Youngest player in NYCFC history to score a goal.
Yep. I don't know if you're Seymour Reed and you're coming into the season and you're thrown into a couple games as the starting striker. Does that take some weight off your shoulders, knowing that you already have a goal coming for the senior team coming in?
I think it does, yeah, because it takes the pressure off, which is why the younger players like him or the younger players like Vieira, these are Johnny Shore. There's less pressure when you're up and you're in 75 minutes. You're in prevention mode, not in need to score mode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think absolutely 100%.
I don't think it's going to be as pressurized as I'd say Bakrar, because Bakrar came in and he had expectations immediately, and this kid, nobody expects him to be the starting out and out striker. I think everybody's expecting a big name player or at least a signing. Is the shot side netting? It's going to be a corner, but he has no expectations ultimately as a kid, and he's already scored a goal when you had Alonso healthy, and he's showing flashes of brilliance last season, and in how he could play, and he's very pacey. When they hit the post,
off the side of the post and out. Good opportunity for the Philadelphia Union on that one. Very close.
So I think that surely that should take some pressure off the young shoulders of Seymour Reed, but just having no expectations, comparing him to Bakra from a couple years ago, where everybody was just on him, and it doesn't matter how many good chances you had, it just nothing seemed to go your way at all.
Munsef had too much pressure on him at that age.
Yeah, and it's like every week you don't hit the back of the net, there's more pressure and more pressure and more pressure on you. And then ultimately it broke him.
Yeah.
It broke him to the point where Alonso Martinez won the starting job, and to Bakrar's credit, he looked improved. He looked more relaxed when Pascal Janssen came in the door for that half season that he was here. I don't know if you saw it differently, if you saw it the way I did. It seemed like he was still a little rough around the edges, but he almost played like he improved. It's like he had no expectations that he could just go out there and just do what he does.
He consistently got like 30 minutes every game at the end of it, and it was always funny because he scored. There's two goals with him that stand out. The first one we did where he ran right to like Nick Cushing and like jumped into his arms. Yeah. And then the second one where he's like, it's a job. It was such a different mentality. One, he's celebrating over the moon. The other one, he's just like, this is what is expected of me. And I remember the last conversation I had with him was about that. His difference mentality night and day from the first goal to the next one, the last one. And he was just like, yeah, I know. I forget exactly what he said, though. I said goodbye to him when he was transferred out. It's a weird feeling when you got that kind of conversation. It's like, hey, I'm never going to see you again. This sucks ass.
Yeah.
When you're
unless he signs for another MLS team and decides to score on us.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, Gabe Siegel being in DC United now. But it's always funny when you're a fan of a team, you don't have that personal connection that we end up having. So when a player transfers out, it kind of stings a little bit on this side of the fence.
Oh,
big opportunity for Philly on that one as Matt Freese came out of the box. Not out of the box, but he came out of position a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, Philadelphia's really ramped the pressure on after that penalty appeal.
So 78th minute throw in for Philly.
Long throw in the box. It's still there, but it's cleared out.
Thiago Martins clears it up sky high at 50 feet.
Seymour can't control it.
Seymour slips. Kevin O'Toole with the pass back to midfield at this point. Philly maintains possession, however.
Keaton wins the header. Seymour's going to fight for it. And Philly has it.
And no foul. Looks like it's going to get and the drum beat carries on. Hey, out of play.
And it's a foul on Keaton Parks for the push on Vasilev. But I think these final quarter of an hour is going to be absolutely hellacious because you're going to have City holding on to that 1-goal lead for their lives, and Philly are going to come out here and throw everything in the kitchen sink at them to do it. No foul call on Seymour Reed.
Yep. Officials are just letting them play.
You think Tanasiewicz comes in and tries to just have an extra body in that box?
I'm curious what they're going to try and do here, yeah. Because you got to figure that basically NYCFC is going to be running out of gas pretty soon. Ojeda, if he gets the ball across, no, he's unable to do so. There's a 1-on-3. There wasn't much opportunity.
They also got Kai Traywin on the bench as well that can come in and play the defender.
I was a little surprised they didn't start him, but I figure there's a reason for it.
Yeah. I ultimately, I just think Keaton Parks looked phenomenal when he came on, so I think Pascal wanted to roll with a hot hand.
But you have to assume he'll probably get some minutes at this point, too. Fresh legs in his early 20s.
Yeah.
80th minute, too.
What a massive win this would be for NYCFC if they could pull it off. Ojeda's going to spring into a chase there. And
out of play.
They're going to smartly let it out for a goal kick.
Yep. Blake wasting no time getting that ball back into play either.
80th minute, 10 minutes left in regulation.
And probably about 5 minutes of added time would be my guess right now based on that VAR.
Let's say 6. Yeah, no substitutes are ready for City, so it looks like Pascal is probably going to roll with it unless he's going to make a sub
late
sooner rather than later. And so they would have saved by Freese.
Great save by Matt Freese on it. Would have definitely been a goal there, but it is a corner. Nathan Harrell, the golden opportunity there. Freese doing the job that's expected of him and what got him the starting role with U.S. Men's National. Union fans trying to get their team up and running.
Yeah, Freese is playing out of his skin against Philadelphia yet again, just like in the postseason.
There's an emotional side to it. He's from Philly, started with Philly, played in the Philly system.
It's just unfortunate that he had somebody like Andre Blake in the way.
Yep. That's what I see with Andrew Rick, too. But
they're going to spring Seymour Reed through. Seymour Reed has acres of space. At this point. No, and he missed it. He puts it right to Andre Blake.
Yeah.
And that's why we say he's not ready yet, because he can't. In those moments, you expect somebody
Blake did the right thing, though. He came in tight, eliminated the angle.
Carrizo's going to come in, and it looks like somebody else, but Seymour Reed, son, that was your chance.
I think he had so much space he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you as as somebody that's been in that position before, when you're sprung through and you have acres of space, you just have so much time to think about it. It's like, oh, where do I want to put it? Do I want to put it top corner?
Yep.
Want to chip him? Do I want to power shot it? And ultimately, you just you think a lot, and then all of a sudden the moment is here, and you're just gonna have to get the ball away. But what a chance! Yeah, what a chance for Seymour Reed there. He could have iced the game right there.
A shot like that with a high angle would have probably been enough on that. But again, you had so much time to think about this. So 83rd minute, Aiden O'Neill comes out in exchange for his countrymate Kai Trowin.
My goodness, what an opportunity to seal the deal there.
But Philly stays in it right now at the 83rd minute, going on to 84. Throw in right now. Losky and Damiani go out. Caden Sullivan and also Olivas go in. Or Kevin Sullivan is a kid. We got a guy named Caden on our side, so I got to throw me off.
Scored 2 goals against Defense Force in the midweek.
You got to wonder how much longer he's got. What, one more year here before he goes east?
I believe so. If he's 17, once he's 18, he's out the door to Man City. This is going to be a very nervy last couple of minutes. Those nerves would have been soothed had Seymour Reed put that ball away.
But again, it's easy. It's easy to do that on this side of the fence. On their side of the fence, boy, is it tough. But Philly keeping the pressure on right now.
Ball still in the box. They're going to try to. Oh, what a save by Freeze again. Denying Harriel.
Boy, Harriel's getting so many opportunities here.
Harriel can't buy a goal.
Yeah. Seymour Reed with a bit of vulnerability. Yeah, like I said, you're 18, and when you have time to think, thinking is like the worst thing sometimes you can do. You got to take that ultra instinct thing.
Because at that point you can easily overthink things, and it just won't go your way. Just like what happened with Seymour just now. So
you date back long enough to Chuck Knobloch and those yips he used to have at second base.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up for a sec. My leg is exhausted. Ow. My right leg is completely asleep right now.
I went out with friends to play some soccer last night, and
nice.
My hip and my right knee are kind of banged up a bit because we had a couple run-ins with some of the guys out there to play footy. But good interception by Trey Wynn there. Reed's going to have another opportunity. Reed. Oh, is he taken down? No, he's not. It's gonna play on, but Seymour Reed with yet another opportunity to put it away.
Oh, that poor kid, man. But this also shows that Philly is trying to play everybody up. The fact that there was 2 breakaways, for Seymour Reed shows that they're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink at NYCFC right now.
Penalty.
Oh, boy. Thiago Martin's in shock right now. Pleading his case. Check the pro ref Slack after this match too. Big opportunity for Philly. This is the ball game for Philly right here. Yep, Tyler is getting ready.
Yeah, Palace is getting ready. Doesn't look like they're going to look at it, so it looks like he's going to stick with it.
Big opportunity here.
It's going to be Vasiliev to take it.
Now, one of the things Joe Tollison said that he prefer in soccer is that the person that gets fouled is automatically the one to take the shot. No picking and choosing who's going to do it for you. I kind of like that idea. It lowers the guaranteed percentage, but a little bit.
Yeah, the nerves are running through Vasiliev right now.
Yeah. And statistically, Matt Freese does not typically have a good PK percentage. But then again, most goalkeepers don't in a situation like this.
Yeah.
So
as the shooter, you're at the advantage.
Indeed. Vasiliev with the opportunity here. And
don't spoil.
Tick, 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 tick. TikTok laddies.
And down the middle,
and 1-1. Vasiliev
disappointing. Absolutely disappointing if you're New York City.
This feels like the opposite. Where basically NYCFC scored a PK to make it 1-1 last week. Indiana Vasiliev.
Yeah. I mean, you felt it coming as well.
Yep. That's going to change the dynamic of this press conference. Something awful.
And Nico's off for Tallis.
So now we're closing on the 90th minute. We're probably going to be looking at about 6 minutes of added time, maybe even 7 at this point. Fog starting to show a little bit in
it looks like Pascal Janssen or his assistant coach is going to get a yellow.
Nico comes out. Tyler comes in. Yeah, he's outside of his box. Pascal is. Yep, looks that way.
Yeah, Pascal gets a yellow.
Pascal Janssen gets a yellow card. Ha ha. NYCFC with an opportunity right here. 91st minute, Kevin O'Toole across. Header up. And ball goes actually up and out. So basically 10 minutes. Holy shit, 10 minutes of added time.
10 minutes. It's a lot more than what we expected.
Indeed.
If you're Philly, you absolutely have to go for it.
Yeah. The momentum's back your way at this point. It's demoralizing. Like a lot of those games in 2023, if you remember.
Oh, Keaton Springs and Ojeda.
Ojeda with a small break. Does he have enough? No, he doesn't.
Gets it just off the Tallis.
Tallis pass across to Trewin, who ends up basically passing it back. But they maintain control. Tallis Magno still maintains possession of the ball. Now into the 92nd minute. 10 minutes of added time.
Ball sprung in, Tallis.
Tallis with a possible opportunity here is inside the box.
Cross corner.
Does develop a corner out of it, though. So he didn't really have a lot of opportunity or anything where to go with on something like that. But Tallis Magno does actually get the corner for NYCFC.
It's a yellow for Philly.
And another yellow card coming in. Boy, these yellow cards are coming all out of place, yeah. So
did he get sent off?
Is that a second yellow? Because that would be the second red card for Philadelphia this week in 2 matches. Some kid in the back jumping up and down like he has to pee.
Oh, did you see the second yellow?
Yep.
Philly are down to 10 now.
Again, second week in a row. Second week in a row that Philadelphia is down a man to end the match. A little bit later than what happened last week at 56.
And for the second week in a row, a New York City opponent has been reduced to 10 men.
So Tyler's generating the corner on this in a short amount of time. Kudos.
I mean, surely now, I don't know, but now if you're New York City, you got to go for it. You're a man up.
Exactly.
The header
and an easy save by Andre Blake on that. Very easy save there. As always, I am Scott, the almost Z-list celebrity. Joining me is Mr. Davi, otherwise known as Dat Boy Davi on Twitter, covering NYCFC and the Philadelphia Union. Game is match right now is currently tied at 1. Late in the second half, probably about 8 or 9 minutes remaining, and Philadelphia Union are currently down 1 player. So I am going to fix that. There we go. Well,
Vasilev's off.
Yeah, Vasilev.
Martinez is in.
Indiana Vasilev is pulled. Him and his mustache are pulled. Vasilev actually with the equalizer on that penalty kick goal there a few minutes ago. And if you're Philadelphia, you play for the draw right now. Philly chipping the ball into the NYCFC zone right now. Keaton Parks with a pass up, but nothing's going to come from it. Seymour Reed holds on, though. Good job for him. But 95th minute. A little pushing and shoving for Keaton there. And another yellow.
I think it's a yellow for the Philly player, Sari.
Indiana Vasilev with the equalizer late in the match here. 95th minute. 10 minutes estimated overall. So we got looking at another 5+ minutes at this point. Raul Gustavo trying to maintain possession, struggling a little bit. Philly maintains the ball. It's going to stay in bounds, though.
No foul.
Yeah, again, the fouls have been pretty light on this one, despite all the yellows recently. Kevin O'Toole takes it out to Agostino Hayda across midfield up the left side. Agostino Hayda having a much better game than he's had in the past. To Treywin, who passes it back to him just toward the side of the box. NYCFC is currently playing up 1 man, so you have to assume that they are going to go full throttle on this training for the 3 points.
Do you think there's going to be a striker talk in the post-match presser, considering the way the game went?
Yes, guaranteed. Somebody's going to ask about that.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, do you think there's going to be any action taken after this? Because this is kind of this is concerning with the way that we created so many chances, we just couldn't put them away, and so I think we've had more opportunities than Philly have had, and honestly, if I'm being honest, I think we should come out here with the 3 points.
NYCFC has done much better offensively than they did last week. You know, they had 1 shot on goal, and that was a PK last week, and I think they're at 5 or 6 at this point, maybe even 7. 7 shots on goal tonight. So, yes, statistically speaking, 7 shots on goal should amount to typically 2 goals, maybe even 3, statistically speaking. So there is a little bit of a concern there. But 2 points in 2 road games usually.
Kevin puts the ball in there. Oh, Hayda! Oh,
Hayda with a good shot opportunity.
Oh, man.
And a solid save by Andre Blake there.
And that's another opportunity there going for New York City by the wayside.
8th shot on goal for NYCFC this match.
Yeah, it looks like post red card. It's momentum's gone City's way.
Yeah, 3-4 minutes left in this match overall, give or take.
I don't know. How do you see this going into next week at the home opener now?
In what regard?
I think in the regard of you went through your tough away games, and now you're back at home, and I guess you expect the win now, surely, right?
You should, I think, in this case here. I think if you came away with a point here, I think you're still okay. Granted, it's not how you wanted it, and you knew you had the opportunity to get 3. But when you look back on it like tomorrow, you think,
and the ref gets in the way again.
Chris with a shot in the head there.
Thiago Martins and Penzo are having a laugh at it.
Yeah, and Penzo having a laugh on that. So.
Well, sprung and it's right to Blake. Yeah, but anyways, how's you'd expect the win next week, surely, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is an Orlando team that it's funny with Orlando. You pretty much every single year know they're going to land 5th, 6th, or 7th. It's just how they roll. So I'd be curious to see. But if you're Pascal Janssen and you got the first 2 road games and you came away with 2 draws, I think all things considered, you walk away happy with that. Not content but happy. So yeah, you go in, you aim for that because that way you're undefeated in 3 straight. And 5 points in your first 3. So that's definitely something you want to go for. And I think.
Well, still there, Truin. Magno, is he offside? No, he's not.
So back to Ojeda right there with an opportunity to pass up and out.
It's
2-1.
It's Tavon Gray. It's the Bronx boy. The Bronx Maldini may have won it. We're gonna get 3 points after all, baby. Let's go. Forget all that talk about getting your first win next week. We're going to win tonight.
So there it is right there. Okay.
The Bronx boy with the 2nd goal for New York City in his career. And he scored against your club's biggest rivals in Red Bull and Philly.
And it's funny because actually it was like Traywin had his head in his hands.
What a ball by Ojeda. That's an absolute dime.
Traywin had the ball in his hands. Thinking that pass was not going to go anywhere. And yeah. Trayvon with a great header on that.
It's a fantastic header down by Tavon Gray into the ground. No keeper. Keepers have struggled with that, especially at such near distance, heading it down into the ground as the attacker. That's always going to result into either going to the back of the net or just having the goalkeeper having struggle with it. But if you're Philly, my God, what a buzzkill, as the stadium is just emptying out now. Yeah. All the Philly fans are heading for the exits.
Well,
what a vibe kill that is for Philadelphia.
And you have to assume that Andre Blake's going to play forward now, because what else you got to lose? You're down one man, you're down a man, you're down a goal, and any second now this whistle's going to get blown. So you have to assume that they're going to throw everything they've got at this.
And Talos is going to win a foul there.
Yeah. Clear block, clear shove in the back on that.
Tavon Gray absolutely comes in and dunks on Andre Blake. Would you look at that? A fullback doing the job of a number 9 to get what looks like all 3 points for Pascal Janssen, New York City. Scott, this is why we love the game. Oh my God! And Seymour Reed is never mind. He's offside.
Ball was too high. He was going to be able to settle that anyway.
Yeah. And that is it. New York City have won in Philadelphia for the second time in a row, and New York City gets all 3 points tonight as they will go into the home opener with a win, and a massive win at that, a statement win at the Shield champions, and all the City fans in the crowd are just absolutely going crazy. And my God, what an ending!
So that's I didn't see that in this case here, and it's funny because I was on Pat Bernard's show this morning, and he was convinced that the Union were going to lose this game. I was convinced that basically was probably
is he your Philly reporter?
He's the guy covering Philly for me today. Yeah.
Wow, and he just had a bad vibe about today.
Yeah, because the team itself had so many people, getting transferred out. So the question remains in this case: if you're Philly, is Bradley Cornell on the hot seat yet?
I don't know. I mean, it's only 2 games into the season, so you can't really put too much stock into 2 losses. I mean, hell, you could lose your first 2 games and still go on to make the playoffs and have a very good run. True. I mean, it is MLS. It's not like the NFL where, hey, you lose 2 games and you're already under immense pressure to get your first win on week 3. So indeed. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how they fare against Club America in the Champions League, and we'll have to see how they fare up until I guess the World Cup break. And if Philly are languishing at the bottom, I guess that's your during the World Cup break. If you want to make a change, you'd make a change then.
Indeed. So, all right, I got a press conference I got to get myself to. So
yeah, absolutely. I just I'm so happy. We deserved it. I think we deserved. We played very well. We suffered, but I think we're just gonna have to do that for most of the year until you get to striker. And I think there is gonna be striker talk, but my God, for
3 points changes that a little bit. So
for a homegrown fullback to win it for you in the last minute, it's brilliant, man. I'm just and especially against a rival like Philadelphia, to after that controversial penalty call, and then just getting the last minute winner. I mean, not many last minute goals go in New York City's favor, so it's very nice to be on the other side of that and to get the win.
Fair. So, all right. So I got to scoot at this point, but appreciate the time. Thanks to everybody on there. Thanks to everybody Stream Punk Soccer. Thanks to everybody over here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Trying that thing out, seeing how that's going to play. Next week, I will not be doing a live stream because I'm going to have to suffer with being at Yankee Stadium in the press box and eating free
I know,
food.
right?
So, the hashtag the
story. What a terrible life, right?
I know, dude. Hey, listen, I earned it, okay? I could tell you some shit, man. But no, in this case, it'll be a good opportunity for me to see a lot of people I haven't seen for a while, including the players themselves. So, but good win in this case here, good road win. You get 4 points in your first 2 road games. And now at this point, you have 8 games out of the next 12 being at home. Yeah. So you can really rack up a lot of points.
And you have a lot of favorable games in there as well.
Yes. In this case, the big thing is to make sure you don't get a swell head on this and assume that you're going to ride the storm all the way out, because that's not the thing in this case. Mm-hmm. So, but that'll bring you all the way to the road trip itself, where they have, I think, 4 games in a row on the road, but you're almost halfway through the season at that point. So there's a lot that this team can be looking forward to going into what they have coming up for the next 2 months.
Yeah. And for the supporters, the build up for the home opener, a lot of smile on the faces of the supporters for just the good vibes for the whole week.
So, but all right. So appreciate the time on that. Again, my name is Scott Schertzen. That's Dat Boy Davi. Thanks as always for tuning in. Appreciate the time. Take care and stay awesome.